All right. Well, I hope everyone is doing well. What I'm going to do today is we're going to go over the end of the year Rube Goldberg challenge that I have every eighth grade class do. Now, things are going to be a little bit different this year because we are stuck at home. So make sure you follow along and hopefully I'll answer any questions that you have. If you have any further questions, please leave them in the comment section so everyone can see them and I will get those answered for you. All right. So the Rube Goldberg machine is intended to have you guys build, design, and refine a device that converts one form of energy to another. So every time someone in the universe moves, heats, cools, or explodes, some form of energy is transferred from one piece of matter to another. Since there are many different forms of energy, there are also a large number of ways to transfer it. This project is designed to let you demonstrate your understanding of those transfers by creating some of your own. All right, so you guys are going to be creating a machine, okay? And it's going to have these different energy transformations in them. And we'll get more into that as we continue through this PowerPoint. So, Rube Goldberg. Why is it called a Rube Goldberg machine? Well, there was a cartoonist named Rube Goldberg who is famous for his drawings of marvelous inventions that did simple things. So you're actually going to create one of these inventions, okay? This invention is like a machine that has a simple task that performs in the end. Now, if you go to the link here below, you can actually look at some of his other cartoons that he drew. Here's an example here of a fan. There's many different steps that go into his invention that causes a fan to work. And then also there's a description here. So what you guys are going to do is essentially is going to create something very similar to Rube Goldberg's cartoons, but in real life. So your task is to design and construct a Rube Goldberg machine using at least 3 simple machines, which include a pulley, lever, wedge, screw, wheel, and axle, and an inclined plane. All right, and we'll look at different types of simple machines. I'll provide you with materials so that you can familiarize yourself with them and then decide which ones you want to use in your machine. And then you need to have at least 2 energy transfers to successfully complete the energy task. All right, so whether it's mechanical, kinetic energy to potential energy, electrical energy that you're using, thermal energy, any of these different forms of energy you can use in your machine. So for an example, when we're looking at an end task, so we're asked to have your machine complete a task at the end. And some examples are pouring water into a cup, shutting off an alarm clock, put toothpaste on a toothbrush, hit play on your iPad or iPod, put coins into a bank, ring a bell, any number of these things that you can think of. I've had students have a machine that turned on a flashlight in the past, also flipped a switch that turned off and on the lights. So really anything that you can come up with, you can have as your end task, but it needs to do something in the end. So the machine rules, there are a set of rules that you need to have for your machine. So it must complete a described task and it must be reliable. So it needs to work more often than not. All right. Your machine must have a title. The machine must contain at least 3 simple machines and 2 energy transfers, which we just talked about in our description of the task that you need to complete. There's a minimum of 5 steps. All right, and we are going to be working individually. In the past, you would have worked in a group, but since we have to stay at home, you need at least 5 steps, and there's no maximum number of steps, so you can have more than 5. No live animals or hazardous material may be used in the machine. So, don't include your pets or anything like that. The machine must not imply or contain any profanity, indecent, or lewd expressions or illegal items. So just be very careful if you are building your machine in your room and when you video your machine working, make sure there's nothing in the background that could possibly get you in trouble. And then any loose or flying objects must remain within the set boundary of the machine. Well, you guys are going to be at home, so your boundaries are going to be, as large and as small as you want them to be. Materials that you can use pretty much anything. If it's not something that you own, I recommend asking a parent or guardian permission at home, even if it's, a sibling's toy, maybe ask them ahead of time and make sure that, you can get their okay before you use it. Some examples I put here were kitchen supplies, pots, pans, plates, cups, toys, right? Any toys that you have, cars, balls, blocks, um, those would be great to use. You could use string or rope, and then really anything that you can get your hands on is going to be safe. Um, you can use in your machine. So when we're looking at what's due the first week, all right, so this is week 8, so this is due on May 8th. You're going to be first asked to research simple machines and energy transformations. Now, I'm going to provide you with resources so you have the material to look over to familiarize yourself with both of these. But feel free to, hop onto Google and look elsewhere if you want to read more about them. Number 2, you're going to come up with a plan. All right, so this is where you're going to start creating work that you're going to turn in. So you're going to first write out a list of materials you plan to use. You're going to write down what your end task of your Rube Goldberg machine is going to be. So, are you going to pour water into a cup? Are you going to turn a flashlight on? What are you going to be doing in the end? And then you're also going to create a rough sketch of your machine and make sure you have 2 energy transformations and 3 simple machines. All right, and also remember, you need 5 steps at least. So you can draw out the sketch. It is a rough sketch. I know things will change. You'll find that some ideas that you may have had might not work, and you'll need to switch things up. Now, you're going to be turning in all of these from number 2 in on Google Classroom. And what I'll do is I'll provide a Google Classroom assignment where you can upload this. If you want to include it all in the same sheet, you can. If you want to draw your Rube Goldberg machine, write down what the end task is, and list the materials, you can do that all on the same paper. And then you can take a picture of it, upload it. If you did it online, you can just upload that doc. Whatever works best for you, just make sure you have those 3 things in your assignment when you turn it in. Now, one thing to mention, when you do create your rough sketch, make sure that you are labeling the 2 energy transformations, and you are also labeling the 3 different simple machines that are in your machine, so I can make sure that you're meeting all of the expectations. Week 9, so 2 weeks from now, on May 15th, you're going to be asked to upload a video of your Rube Goldberg machine to Google Classroom. All right, now this says online students only, so that would be you who are watching this video. My recommendation would be to record it on your phone because things are going to be moving, and then upload it to Google Classroom. If you need to send it to me through email from your phone, that's also a possibility. But I recommend using your phone. It'll be easier to record. And then also you're going to be asked to complete a written assignment as a conclusion to the project. So you need to draw a picture of your machine, labeling each step A, B, C, and you should have D and E because you're going to have at least 5 steps. Now this is going to be after you've built your machine. So you're going to draw it after you've built it and you know that it works. You're going to provide a written explanation for each step. So if you look back at the Rube Goldberg slide where we were talking about who he was, he had a description of everything that was happening in his machine. You need to have written step-by-step what's happening. So at A, this is happening. At B, this is happening. And then you need to include a description of the energy transfers. All right, so have them labeled and then describe how one form of energy is changing into another. There is a rubric that will be posted on Google Classroom along with this video. I highly recommend looking over the rubric. And then, like I said, I will be uploading simple machines and energy transformation resources to Google Classroom that you can use to look at. And then lastly, what I did was I found 3 different videos. 2 of them actually go really well with the pandemic that we're going through right now. So there's a passing the salt social distancing one, which is very entertaining, and then also a quarantine machine, which is very interesting. So I highly recommend looking at these. And then there's also the OK Go music video that you guys watched in 7th grade when we talked about energy transformations. Well, I hope that watching this video helped you better understand the project. Like I said, if you have any questions, please email me, okay? Make sure we're meeting our due dates and getting these assignments in. This is pretty much one of the last things that we're doing for the year. So I will talk to you later. Thank you.